welcome back to another live video. Welcome back to my channel. I am so hyped to do this topic. You would think I'm probably bipolar or something because I did my last live. I was in my feelings, and now I'm just feeling so hyped because I literally feel so powered up. I'm ready to move forward with life, and I'm so excited to do this topic. So as you can see from the title, it's going to be an interesting discussion, guys. It's going to be so interesting. We need to talk about this because this is something that may not be discussed enough. And I do see like the media do touch on this and how adult children can't leave home, due to financial issues, how they stay at home longer, right? But I want to put a twist to it. I'm going to try my best to put a twist on this. I want to talk about it how I want to talk about it, or add whatever my opinions, right? First of all, let's address what an adult child is. So adult child is anybody over the age of 18. um they are, it's usually, I would say adult child can, I would say, in my opinion, it would be somebody that's in their late 20s or 30s or 40s, 50s. The age goes on, right? um Everyone's gonna have their own opinion on what is an adult child, but I feel like even 18 is still young. That is still teenager. Your parents still are trying to set you up for life. Um, Keyword, set you up for life. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that haven't been able. They've been robbed of their future. They haven't been able to have that system where they are being trained in how to become. Uh, I want to say independent, but I don't want to say independent. I mean, they haven't been shown the ropes, right, and how to do things. Like if um for example, if I had a child and I talk to my child and I say, look, this is how I got my own place, this is how I did it, I brought this and this, and I go there. I find there's a lot of parents that withhold that information deliberately, because they know that if they share that information, then that child will start to think of leaving the nest, right? And this is the key word. A lot of parents don't want their children or their adult children to leave the nest. And this is not really talked about enough, right? Um, when you've got that energy around you, it can hinder you, right? A lot of people don't realize energy is contagious. If you are getting married to somebody, right? And hello, Andrea, how are you? If you are getting married to somebody and there's someone at your wedding that despises your marriage, or I mean your relationship, not marriage because you're not married yet, that energy will be around you and it may cause arguments. Thank you so much for like, it may cause a lot of tension in your marriage. When people are having problems like this, they don't realize it's somebody that's around them that's bringing that energy. And if you are living with someone that is your support system and they're deliberately withholding certain information that can help you to, fly the nest, to help you think about a financial future. A lot of people haven't been taught financial skills by their parents on purpose because they know that if you struggle financially, you won't be able to make adult decisions, right? Adult decisions is so important when it comes to finances because you should be able to say, look, I'm going to save this amount of money, I'm going to buy this car, or I'm going to put this money towards having a house, right? You find that a lot of adult children that are still living at home, they struggle with being lost. They don't understand, why they are working their job, why they are living, or what is their future. That you will see they have like this mind fog where they don't have an idea of what to do next, right? And this is because their support system or the people that they are living with are not actually sitting down and helping them to make plans, right? A good example of this is like Asian families. Asian families are very driven, right? And when I say Asian families, mostly like Indians, Sikhs, they set their kids up in a way where their kids will have arranged marriages and their child knows that, the daughter will know that they're going to live with their in-laws, and they know they need to get this job so they can pay for their mortgage, right? So they know where their money's going, or sometimes some of them work and maybe have to give money towards rent or whatever. So a lot of people, they're selfish. They want their children to stay at home so the child can contribute money towards bills and gas. So if they've got that source of income, they won't want you to leave, right? A lot of people need to realize this. Thank you so much for the like, guys. A lot of people need to realize this, that there's a lot of people that don't want what's best for you. They don't want you to move into a new direction in life. And you will see this if you work in the workplace, and if you want to switch jobs, or if you're leaving. You see a lot of people don't want you to leave. They beg you to stay. The manager might offer you more hours. People don't necessarily think outside the box. They don't think, okay, what skills can I, give to that person? When I say give to that person, what skills can I teach that person, or in order for them to journey on into their new adventure? And the reason why I'm talking about this as well is because a lot of people don't realize that sometimes, right, you have people in your life and you can't connect with certain people, and sometimes we tend to connect with certain people based on our lifestyle. A lot of people don't realize that. If you take a moment to think about the friends that you have around you, right? AP's here. If you take a moment to think about the friends that you have around you, your friends will be in, thank you so much for like, your friends will be in similar situations to yourself, or they maybe have a kind of slight lifestyle to you, where I don't know, you guys, you might have friends that, you kind of have a job that you hate. You might find that you have a lot of friends that think the similar way as you. Um, you might have friends that may be giving you the same advice. Like if you're still living at home, you may have friends that are telling you need to move out, right? And then the support system that you have are not telling you that, right? You see a conflict, which may cause you to lose those friendships, because if some people are telling you to do something and then the people that you are leaning on the most are not saying it, it can have a conflict. That happens in like relationships as well, where the female or the male has friends and they're telling them to get out of that relationship, and then the partner doesn't feel like the relationship needs to end. So it may be a way of either that person starts cutting off their friends because they feel like the friends are jealous, or they may start listening to their friends and actually start distancing themselves from the partner. So friends do play a vital part in people's lives. A lot of people don't realize that the people that you do necessarily connect with speaks volumes. Sometimes, not always, because sometimes some people connect with people based on the wrong reasons, right? So it depends on who you are as an individual. So I can't completely say that you kind of connect with people based on people that are similar to yourself, because it's not always true. I find that with a lot of adult children as well, they tend to live in their comfort zones, right? They live inside a box because they've been thank you so much a lot, guys. They have been raised to be there, right? A lot of people don't realize this. A lot of people raise their children to stay with them. And you do see this when people have very close relationships with their parents, right? That's the case most of the time. So-called friends are always going to be jealous. That is very true, AP. Sometimes it can be, sometimes it can't be. I would say the moments when it can't be is when okay, this is up to the person's mind process, because it's basically down to the person's interpretation of what I'm about to say, because I can't speak for all friends. But the only way that the friend is not jealous is when they know you completely and they just know that person's not a match for you based on what you tell them. The other way is when they're jealous, is when they actually see that this person matches you, right? And they don't want to see you in a relationship, they don't want to see you happy. And that's when it becomes actually jealous, because they can see that it's something beautiful. And you can kind of sense when someone's friend is jealous, because they become very envious of the relationship. They start complimenting it in a certain way. The eyes start watching the relationship. You can kind of see when they feel left out as well. Maybe said, do you agree when parents treat their children like friends? I watched a TV show. Thank you so much for that, guys. I watched a TV show called The World's Strictest Parents, right? And it was a really good TV show. It was in the UK, and you see, I think kids would. it's based on children that were misbehaving a lot with their biological parents or their adoptive parents, right? And they would have to fly to another country to experience a whole completely different culture. And you'd see like the parents really, the parents that they're currently living with, I mean, that they're living with on this TV show, the strict parents, um, really disciplining them. And I remember this always stuck out to me. I remember one man saying, "I'm not your friend, I'm your parent." And you do see that there's like it's one of those, can I call it a grey area? People don't know what it is to be a parent. And when I say people don't know, some people think it's to be a friend. Some people think you shouldn't be a friend with your child. And, I think I was raised with a mother that was like my friend. She was my best friend, right? And I do see a lot of females out there that do have that close friendship. Sometimes it can be a good thing in terms of like moms being best friends with their daughters, and sometimes it can be a bad thing. Um, I do agree with when parents treat their children like friends. I want to agree or disagree, but I feel like if I was a parent, I feel like um, it's a tricky one. I don't know if I would be like a friend, because back then I used to believe in star signs, and when I used to research like star signs as parents, um, I would feel like my mom was being like a zodiac sign, and I'm the same zodiac sign. So I always told myself I would be exactly like my mom as a parent in terms of being friendly with my child. But moving forward, I can't define myself that way. I have to look at myself as who I am and not as a zodiac sign. So in terms of um parents treating their children like friends, I feel like you shouldn't, because um it gets blurred. Like for example, if your child then becomes a teenager and they are keeping secrets with their actual friends, and then they don't tell you the secrets, you're going to be like, "Oh, why are you not telling me?" You're going to get really emotional as a mother. But if you maintain that distance, but you also let them know that I'm your parent, I'm here to guide you in life. um they need to know that they can come to you as a parent. They can be like, "Mom, look, my friend told me this secret and I don't know how to handle it." And they could be like, you can be like, "What's the secret?" And then they know that they're going to get a parent reaction, not a friend reaction. They're going to get you as a parent. They know that you're the parent and you do tell them the truth, right? And they know that they can come to you comfortably, and you're gonna sit them down, let them understand, and really talk them through stuff, right? That's the difference. But I feel like if you are this friend, it's too confusing. It's like when the manager is your friend, like your manager's your friend, and then the next minute your manager's shouting at you, and it's confusing, because it's like, are you my manager or are you my friend? And this happens in a lot of situationships where people are getting involved with people and their friends, and then they're like, "Wait, are we even friends anymore?" And it's getting blurred. People need to be careful when you start off with friends with people, like really, know what's happening in this relationship, right? Because friends can be confusing when you work with people that are friends with you and then next minute they change. That's where conflict happens, because people are expecting you to always be that friend. um yeah, I remember the Jamaican edition. Oh, I wonder if I saw that one. I wonder if I saw that one, actually. I probably did. The young boy. Was it the one that wanted to wear the string first? Yo, I actually remember it. Young boy from England wanted to smoke in the Jamaican parents' home. They weren't having enough beer. I actually remember that. I actually remember that. Let me check my battery though, because I haven't even fully charged my phone yet. Okay, my phone battery's still good. Um, yeah, there's boundaries you have to set. Yeah, I think being a parent is very hard, because like you do have this fondness with your child. Like this is the mini you, or this is something you've created, and you admire that person, and then to have to then you create. Some people create friendships with a child because they don't have friends, right? So it's like sorry guys, interruption. So it's like they create friendships. 1 second, guys. They create friendships with their. Let me try and see if I can go out. 1 second. Like, um, my siblings have just come home. 1 second. Use it. Like, yeah. So they create friendships with, um, they create, sorry, as I was saying, they create friendships with their child because they don't have that they don't have that friend group, right? So, that's where the lines start to blur, where people, they confuse their child for like a friendship, and I don't think it's professional. They start to lean on their child for that emotional support. That's kind of one of the reasons why a lot of adult children don't move out, because the parent starts leaning on them. You do see like a lot of people that get into relationships, and then I'm talking from like an example that someone actually told me in real life. So I'm not going to use the example completely. I'm just going to talk about it briefly. You see people in relationships where the parent is starting to become a burden to their child, the adult child, where they start trying to intervene in the relationship. They try to say, "Oh, I'm feeling ill," and then that child feels like they have to put their plans and their relationship on hold for their parent that is pretend to be ill. You do see kind of these things, and it's like a controlling aspect, because when you create a friendship with people, especially your child, you kind of know them on a different level as well, because you've bonded with them in that way. So when you've bonded with them on that way, you know how to pull the strings on them, right? And this happens to a lot of people because you then feel like you owe your parents loyalty, where they've created this friendship with you, so they're always your best friend, and no one else competes with that person, right? So they actually manage to put themselves in a high position in your life where no one can come close to them. And you do see like a lot of people that are, you get men that are, nothing wrong with being a mother's boy or nothing wrong with being a daddy's girl, but you do see where these people that do have those kind of connections, they always say that no one comes close to their parent, because their parent have already set an unrealistic expectation in their lives where it's not realistic. Because if I'm deliberately trying to make my son become very close to me, and no one can cook like me, because my son would know that no one can cook like me, no one can be me. It's like it's unrealistic, because you're literally going to have your way to meet your child's needs at an unrealistic level, because you're literally manipulating the script, where you're no longer the parent now. You're now bending backwards to be everything in your son or daughter's life. So because you do that now, no partner, no romantic partner in your child's life can even come close, because you've done everything to satisfy your child's needs. Um, Obviously not sexually, but I'm just mean like normal other day, everyday, daily things. God, let me just specify that, just in case anyone twists it. It gets very manipulative. That's why you always find that when people are like if you got a daughter that's very close to their daddy's favorite girl, or a son that's a mother's boy. Don't get me wrong, some people can have healthy relationships even if they're very close to their parents, but I find that it doesn't always work, because you always find that that child always goes back to their parent. That always go back to the parent, because they're frustrated because no one can be like their parent. So it's competition. One second, guys. One second. My sister's just come back from Chris Brown concert, so I want to find out how it was. One second, guys. Mm? Are you tired? We'll catch up tomorrow. Yeah, sorry about that. My sister was like, it was good, but she was tired. I said, we'll catch up tomorrow. Parents should be a guide and a role model, and the thing is, like, even if they are close with their child in the way that I described, like mother's boy or daddy's girl, they do guide them. That's the thing, like, they are still being like a parent. They're guiding them, but they're guiding them in the manipulative way, where um they will, parents are very good at saying that friend's no good, or this person's no good, that partner's no good for you. So that's another aspect. If they get a partner, they will tell them that that partner's no good. And then that's when you see relationships start to decline. You, anybody that's watching this live will know at least one person that actually met their true love, right? and they couldn't be with them. And when you ask them why, they would say because their parents didn't like them. Do you see what I mean? So a lot of people, a lot of people do find that person that they really like, and then you've got the parent in the background interfering. And nobody wants to be a part of a family that doesn't accept them, because you just know you're gonna be third best in that person's life, right? You're not gonna come close. Like any conflict, if the family has any issue with you, you just know that your partner is gonna take the family side. They're not gonna take your side. And in a relationship, in a proper serious committed relationship, your partner is supposed to choose you above everyone else. If there's a conflict in the family, they're supposed to side with you, regardless if you're right or wrong. um I mean, a guide, not in a manipulative way. Yes, yes, I had to just put that in there, that because if anybody does have a parent like that, they may think that they are being guided by them, but I just wanted to let them know that they're also being manipulated without realizing. um it's very common. And this is such an interesting topic, because I feel like it's not really talked much about. You do see a lot of people, they may have friends that still live at home, and there's nothing wrong with still living at home, right? But I'm talking about the adult children that are literally being hindered by their parents, where they're not allowed to choose what partner they want. They're not allowed to, you get some parents telling their children to have abortions, their adult children to have abortions. They're literally controlling every aspect of their lives. And I'm talking about the adult children that actually want to live their lives and they want to break free from it, right? And they may have friends that are telling them to just move out, just get your life. It's not as simple as that. It is simple as that, where they could literally just get up and go. They could. But when you realize, when you look behind the scene, there's a lot of manipulation going on, and they're being controlled. They're being monitored at all times, and the foundation's been set for a way for them to just stay put. And everyone has free will. We're not a tree. We can all move and go wherever we want. But the thing is, even if that person does move, right, they may break their relationship off and then may go back to that parent, um, which is very interesting. But yeah, so guys, like, I also, there were more points that I wanted to add to this. I feel as though um I'm an adult child that still lives at home. Just to put it out there, I still live at home. There were times in my life where I actually did want to leave, and I was told the reasons why I can't leave. And I have free will. I could just go now if I wanted to, but this is why this topic is so important, because I realized that there's a lot of things in my life that wasn't discussed on how to actually do that moving forward, the foundations. And I find that a lot of people that do leave home when they're like 16, they struggle, but then they bounce back. And I feel like that's a good time to learn. I've always been independent from 16 when I had my first job. That's really good, AP. That's really good. You also have a good relationship with your mum as well, and I think that's very, very important, because I've heard you. You haven't really spoke about her much, but I've heard you speak about her, and it's always been good things. Um, I think parents should allow their child that independence, and I find that a lot of overprotective parents are kind of to blame, in terms of um they're so busy trying to protect their child instead of giving their child that freedom to learn how to be independent, how to make adult decisions. And I'm not saying that every decision should be made for, teenagers should be allowed to make those decisions freely, but they should learn, even, and then they should be able to freely go to their parents and ask for advice and support. Oh, my mum played both parents, I ain't gonna lie. That's amazing, not AP. I feel like in a lot of families, especially a lot of households, not all black households, but a lot of black mothers have had to play like both roles. And this is not to bash black men at all. It's not to bash them, but it's very common. And um, yeah, and that's actually amazing, because you turned out great. So that is, your mom's done a really good job, to be honest. But there's some parents that actually don't want to see their kids, fly the nest, unfortunately. And as I said, I'm an adult child and I still live at home. And you do get to an age where you actually feel ashamed by it. But what's happening now is um the way the world is now, cost of living and stuff like that, it's literally now people that do want to fly the nurse, it's kind of now tricky because those people that managed to do it before that happened, they had an advantage. But now when people are realizing they want to make that decision, it's kind of like, wow, I've got so much to learn, I've got so much to build, and everything is possible, guys. It is doable. It is so doable. Like anyone that's watching this and they want to fly the nurse, they want to take that plunge, you can do it. You can do it. Nothing is impossible. AP said, well, I ain't perfect. That's true. Like, I feel like, obviously, like, all of us ain't perfect, but I love the fact that you said that because somebody may be reading your comment and they may feel like, oh, he had one parent, but he turned out good. Why have I not turned out good? And when I tell you, like, comparison is a thief of joy, people shouldn't do that. My family is still very, very dysfunctional. Oh, tell me about it. I feel like there's so many dysfunctional families out there. It's so dysfunctional. It's unreal. Um, very, very dysfunctional. I just want to say as well, like, in terms of adult children still living at home, I analyze like the patterns of people that still live at home and the people that flew the nest, right? And I'm not saying that those people that flew the nest were being hindered. I'm not saying that, but I noticed that this is not for everyone in the world, but I noticed the pattern of the people that still lived at home, the people that actually moved out that still lived at home, right? That immigrated abroad. So I feel like a lot of people that immigrate abroad, it gives them that. I'm not telling everyone to do that, but it gives them that advantage where they have to start everything fresh. They don't have that system to lean on. They've got to now find their own accommodation. They've got to find a job to fund them. They've got to start it all over again, right? And they've got no excuses. They've got to do it. It's over that or nothing, right? Because if they go to another country, they've got to make it work, right? So I noticed that pattern. Um, I've noticed that a lot of people that tend to move out, um, it's always like if they have children, right? I noticed that especially women, they have no choice. That gives them that plunge where they've got to now fly the nest because they've got kids. Um, AP said that's brave step to take moving abroad. Wow. Literally, you know how many people I actually know in real life that have done that? Because I always speak to a lot of international people. And I literally sat down and thought about it. Like, if they was to go back to the home country, they'd be living at home, right? But they literally fly the nest. They go to another country. And as you said, it's very brave. It's very, very brave because you don't know anybody. You don't know how the law works. You don't know how the system works in terms of like, getting a bank account, like doing things like properly, all the stuff. You got to learn all that. You got to learn your rights in the country. I don't know. There's so many things you got to learn. You've got to then meet new people. You've got to adapt to a completely new culture, and that's it. That's literally it. And there's so many people that do it, especially like if you look at the UK as well. There's a lot of people that actually do it alone. They actually do it alone. They come over. They have to work in a job. That sometimes some people have to speak another language as well. Especially in the UK, you meet all sorts of people that are coming over. They're now speaking English, they're just starting their life again. And a lot of people have to, if they drive in their home country, they have to learn, they have to learn to drive over here. They have to maybe take a driving test. But I know that here in the UK, for anyone that's interested in coming to the UK, for some people they can drive if they've got a license in their home country, they can drive in the UK with their actual license for a year, and then after a year they have to then take a driving test and do everything all over again. So it's literally like you're starting all over again. I literally spoke to a man. He's from Croatia. He told me he's lived in many countries. He told me he lived in Germany. What was the other country? What country was it? I can't remember if it was Dominican Republic. And then he come here. He's now living in the UK, and he said to me that he wants to continue his studies, right? But he can't. He wanted to go to uni, but he can't because he needs to now get his English and maths here. And he said he already has those qualifications at home, but he said after a while the qualifications expire, so it's like he has to start his life all over again. He's got to now find a place to get his like GCSEs, like his English, his maths, and his biology or something like that. And I was trying to give him some suggestions, but I said, you know what, sometimes you can get these qualifications like equivalent GCSE online. And he said, yeah, he said he might do an online one. So that's very interesting. You know, a lot of people start their lives over, and you know, when you see people doing this, when you see people doing this, right, you realize that a lot of adult children that still live at home can also, you know, start again, start fresh. And 1 second, guys. Yeah, they can start fresh. So my siblings have come home, so they're getting everything sorted. So any background noises of them, it's fine. Yeah. Sorry, you can come in if you want. Yeah. Yeah, so let me read the comments. A whole different culture, a complete different culture. You have to adapt as well. You know, that can make you homesick as well. If you know, I know like Spain and some other countries, they eat dinner at 10 p.m. I mean, I would be fine with that. They eat dinner at 10 p.m. Some cultures, they eat late. And then when they come to the UK, they don't understand it when they go to restaurants and then the restaurants are shut by 9 p.m. I mean, no, they're not serving food after a certain time. I think that only applies to European countries. Yes, I think that's true, but uh, my friend, I never asked him actually. I have a friend that's from Brazil. I'm sure he drove as well, but I'll have to ask him because I'm sure he was driving, but I hope he was doing it all legit. But yeah, I'll have to ask him. So you have to learn, like, you have to, not only do you have to learn the system, you have to learn what benefits you. Um, yeah, 1 second, guys. You have to learn, like, what can you do? Like, um, yeah, I spoke to a lady. She's from Iran. Oh my gosh, you know what? Speaking to her now is so upsetting because she was crying. She was saying how this is real life, guys. Anyone that's considering like immigrating abroad to, you know, as an adult child, these are the kind of things you might have to deal with. So she said like she was crying about Iran, and she said how she speaks with her mom and sister, and she said that her city that they live in is a peaceful city, like there's never no problems. And she said they can see smoke in the air, and she says she worries, you know, she worries that they're not going to make it. So these are the things that people have to take into consideration if you're considering like moving abroad, that you may have family members that may fall ill, they might die, or something drastic might happen, and you can't physically be there. And I mean, I don't know if she wants to physically be there, but at the same time, it's like, well, you know, you'd be scared to be there, but at the same time, you want your family safe. Um, with regards to using a driving license in the UK. Oh, I understand what you mean, AP. I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here in the UK. Yeah, literally. I know what you mean, AP. I always wanted to like live abroad, to be honest. My mom always tried to encourage me to do it, but something was keeping me stuck. I mean, you always see like people, adult children, you see them make excuses when you tell them to move abroad, for example, and they say, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave my family. They always say they don't want to leave the family because they feel like the family needs them. So you can see when people have this close, very close knit family where they just live for their families. And there's a reason why God told Abraham to leave his father's home, because he knew that the things that he was going to bless Abraham with, he won't be able to do it if he was still living at home, because he'll still be in his comfort zone. Um, Another point that I want to add, that you know, I talked about how people immigrate abroad, where if they do go back home, they'll be living with the parents anyway. So it's not like they manage to actually get out, but they manage to do it abroad, is what I'm saying. So that it's very brave, like what AP said. They're literally starting fresh. Everything's all fresh. You know, like what a lot of people don't realize, like if you live in the UK or any other country in the world, right? You have more of an advantage over people that immigrate to your country, because you have a good foundation. There's a, you know, you have a lot of people need to be grateful for living in their native country, because you have an idea of, you have more of an advantage of saving up your money, getting things. Like if someone moves over to the UK to buy a house, they've got to start fresh with their money. They've got to save. They've got to do a lot of things. Unless they have savings back home, there's a lot of things to do. And you know, it's probably a shock. You get a shock as well. Like if you want to buy a house and you go to that country, like anyone that comes to the UK, it's so expensive to buy a house. So just keep that in mind that you may go to another country thinking, I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna do all this. Prices may vary when you go to other countries. It's like when people immigrate to, I don't know, a lot of people from UK were immigrating to, I think, Australia, like nurses, because I think the pay was better back in the day. I don't know what it's like now, but a lot of people do go elsewhere for better pay. Um, there's a lot of things that you have to read about for your benefits. I remember I was speaking to a guy from India and he immigrated to Italy and then he came to UK and he said Italy had a lot of benefits for him. I can't remember the benefits, but he was talking about how it benefited him. Um, but I don't think you can live your life saying, oh, if I move to this country, it's going to benefit me. Because I think that's greed. I think you should go to the country if you want to go to the country. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to go here because I get high pay. I can buy whatever I want. That's greed. But each to your own. Um, my mum just got back 2 weeks ago from Antigua. Wow. Oh my gosh, Antigua. Oh my gosh. You know what? I literally laugh every time I hear Antigua. In my household, right? We literally found like one of the old episodes of EastEnders and Sonia was like cheering on the guys. I think Gus was in there and she was like, come on, Antigua. It was so funny because it was an old episode that we watched when we was kids, but we didn't realise that they were saying Antigua. But yeah, when you watch things as an adult, you find it more humorous. But that just made me think of that episode. Yeah, so I covered um people immigrating abroad, you know, to start their life and set their foundation. I covered about mothers moving out of their family home when they do have children. That's very common because they need to have their own space and it can become overcrowded. And I think at that point, when I don't want to encourage this because I don't want people to think, oh, if I have a child, then my mother or father will no longer want me in the house, and that's a good thing for them. I don't want people to do it for that reason, but I find that maybe you know the parent probably don't want them in the house anymore because obviously they've got a child that's going to become overbearing. So that might be that way where they just literally want to cut ties with keeping them there. But I don't know. I'm not speaking from experience, but that could be a problem. But I'm not telling people to now go out and have kids just so um you know your parent can get off your case and you know want to just get you out the house. I'm not saying it for that reason. Like you should leave if you want to leave. Like don't make people have that much power over your life and your decisions, right? um I just feel like one of those controlling parents are literally watching this video and they're getting mad at like why are you actually giving this information out on the internet. But anyway, um the third point I wanted to make is a lot of people move out when they've got a partner, when they've actually got like a solid relationship. This could be marriage, this could just be like boyfriend and girlfriend, but usually it's more common with people that really want to settle down with this person. And you see them thinking about whether they want to buy a house, whether they want to live in a rented property. You see them taking that plunge, and sometimes the parent may not want this, right? But you know, it gets to the point where they actually choose love over the parent, and then that's when the adult parent has to come to terms with the fact that this is it. But this is where interference can happen in relationships where because they want you back at home, they may find faults with your partner and they may be like, oh, this person's no good for you. They're telling you what to do, and they might try and get in your head a little. Plus, you're old enough to make a baby. You're old enough to be independent and move out, right? That's true. That's true. Um, there may be cases where someone has actually had a baby and they still live at home. There may, guys, there may. I don't know. I don't know a lot of people out there that's done that, but there may be somebody out there that's actually done that where the parent actually wants to keep them there with them. And that may be codependent where they're making that adult child feel like they can't do anything without them. So we have to be very mindful of these things. When you are trying to advise someone, you see, you don't know what you're coming against when you're trying to advise someone. They could be going through a lot. The support system that they're supposed to have is not really supporting them in what they want and what's best for them. They're literally thinking about keeping them for their selfish desires, and people need to be mindful of this. You can move out and still have a relationship with your parents. It doesn't have to be a case of if you move out, you feel like you're going to lose that bond, because you won't lose that bond. It just means that you have to visit them when you can. Um, Let me check my battery life. Okay, I'm on 8%. That's fine. I still need to fully charge this phone, but it's fine. Um, yeah, it's a very interesting topic, this whole adult children, they can't leave home, it's something that's not really discussed about the actual real reasons. And some people may become, desensitive to the situation. They may get frustrated with their friend and say you can leave, but they don't realize that, you know and you've got, like, people that you live with, and if it's parents, and they're doing everything in their power to limit you from, you know knowing the information that requires you to move out. They're not helping you to plan that next step, because parents should, if they've done something before, they should be, parents are usually very smart at adding their 2 cents. So if they're not actually telling you that, you need to save money, you need to do this, you need to do that, um, it's quite concerning. They should be saying, you know what, before you get a partner, you need to do this, you need to do that. They should be really guiding you. And you do see a lot of parents really withholding this information, and they're literally filling their um, adult child's mind with doubts. They're making them feel like they can't do something when they actually can do it. Um, if someone else has done something before, you surely can do it. You remember that information. You can do it if someone's done it before. AP said, you're right. Yeah, there's just so many. When you actually get involved with someone, you see so many scenarios within family households, and you're thinking, what in the hell is going on here? And they actually get away with it. They actually get away with it because people just become either too complacent, or they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to deal with that difficult adult child, or they don't know how to deal with that difficult parent that is literally trying to. Another thing I want to add, a lot of adult children, right, especially the ones that stay at home, right, you always see, like, the script, either the script's been flipped or it's actually accurate. I don't know which one, but you always find that when that parent has kept that child at home, when they get a new relationship, that parent gets a new relationship, you always see them complaining, saying that adult child is actually in the way of their relationship. You always see that aspect, or the partner that they've got complains about the adult child being in the way, which is very interesting, especially considering that the parent is doing everything in the power to keep that child there. So it's almost like a lot of head games where people start to say to that adult child, come on, like, let your mom live her life, like, or let your dad live his life. There's a lot of confusion going on around this, and you know, this is not something that you think, oh, I don't have to deal with. There may be people out there. Hello, Wonder Boy, how are you? There are people out there that may get in a relationship with someone that is in this scenario, and it's difficult. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that. Yes, I am up really late. I need to get ready for bed soon. I am up very late. I got home late, actually. I definitely did. Hey, Tanya, it's just like, hey, just like, how are you? Yeah. So, you do see this aspect. You do see, um, you know, a lot of people, um, they don't know how to, deal with being in a relationship or being in a friendship with someone that's going through this. It's very challenging. And it's hard to address the topic if you don't understand what's really going on. And sometimes you can't know what's really going on. You have to physically be living it to know what that person's going through. And you see in life people giving people advice, but how can you give advice on something that you actually don't physically know what they're experiencing? I wonder, but I haven't really been consistent with my lives. Sometimes I go quiet and then sometimes I do lives. But I want to try and be consistent with my lives in terms of like finding a flow where I do videos at this set time, but it's at the moment it's quite tricky for me. My mum had a boyfriend like that. It never worked. He had to pack his bags. AP literally kills me. AP, you always kill me. Let me read that out again. My mum had a boyfriend like that. It never worked. He had to pack his bag. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember I was walking on the street, guys. This is when I used to do a lot of lives with you guys. AP, I don't think AP didn't have my channel then. This is when Luke used to come on my lives a lot back then, and I did a live. Oh, my lives was so much better then. It was so good. I did so many interesting topics. This was like last year. Wait, it was like last year summertime. Yeah, I remember my lives used to be so lit. And yeah, I was like I do my lives and I was like so satisfied with them. I was like, yes, this was a good live. Like I do enjoy these lives now, but I just remember that time in my life was actually good as well. Like I was really happy in life. I wasn't happy like in terms of like my family situation, but I was happy in terms of like I'd go out, and when I'd go out, like I had like the right environment, like I'd speak with people. I was in my element. That was so good back then. I feel like it's hard to get those times back. Because obviously you can't keep doing the same things all the time in life. You've got to switch up your routine. But in that phase of my life, it was really good. And I remember I was walking to the shops, right? Because I'm always walking to the shops, guys, when I got you guys on live. And there was this lady shouting at her partner, right? Because I came off the live at this point. She was shouting at her partner and she was telling him like she was telling him that she's gonna throw him out so he can go back and live with his mom. And I felt like when I saw that, I felt like she was the abusive one. But sometimes you don't know what's going on in relationships. But that literally made me think of that AP. Um, Wonderboy said, "No, I meant to know. You said you got in late." Oh, good question. Good question. Yeah, I was out, sorting out a lot of things. I try not to disclose too much on my lives, not because of you guys, but because I've got a lot of people that know me and they just watch my lives to try and find out what's happening in my life. But yeah, I was with a friend, and then time flies, and then I thought, now it's time to go home. I never want to go home though, guys. Parents, partners will always try to get you out of the way. Parents, wait, again, yeah, parents, partners. Yeah, I agree. The parents' partners will always try to get out of the way. Kiss my teeth. Yeah, it's very weird. It's like this competition. It's like they're trying to fight for the attention of their child. But you shouldn't do that. You've had your whole life with them. So why would you, if they're now growing up and they're flying the nest, you should let them enjoy their time with someone else. Um, no, you're not being nosing, Wonderboy. It's literally like I have enemies that will probably just watch this and try and like think, oh, she's been up to this, she's been up to that. But I still answered you though, Wonderboy, but I just tried to answer it in a way that if they watched it, they still won't know what I'm talking about. They won't know who it is or what I did. Um, AP says, sounds like she's lost her respect for him. Shake my head. Literally. And this is a good aspect to add. A lot of people, right, if they see that you are adult child and they will see how do I put this into words? For example, say if let's just use a guy's example. Sorry, I'm like scratching my head. I need to wash my hair. Sorry, guys. I shouldn't even talk about my hair itchy on the live or whatever. Let me just use a guy's example. So, say if there's a woman in a relationship with a guy and he lives with his mom for like 50 years, for example, right? And he meets a new woman, everything's good. He moves in with her. This is the problem when people move in with their partners, right? You know, this is when it becomes an issue because women are always quick to throw men out. Sorry, no shade at you, AP, but they're always quick to throw men out. So just imagine he's a mother's boy, he's moved in with a new woman now, everything's going good. What happens is when this woman now knows that he lives with his mom or the mom's interfering or whatever reason, right? She's already looking down on this man because she's thinking, okay, he's living at home, right? And then anything he does wrong in the house, if he can't like I don't know wash dishes or whatever, she'll find that to attack him. She'll think, oh, he can't do this because his mum does everything for him. Do you see how it becomes toxic where people start labeling people, where they start judging you and saying, oh, you can't do this because your mum does everything? 1 second, guys, my battery. My battery's on 5%. I have to turn the brightness up off my phone, which means I'll have to end this live soon. So, yeah, people don't have that understanding where, a lot of people don't understand the background of stuff. And even if they do, they won't understand it because they're not living it or they have never experienced it, right? So, anything that man does wrong, it's going to be a problem because he hasn't been able to develop the skills of being an independent adult by living on his own or living with friends or whatever like that. So people tend to judge people on those things, but you can still live at home and still be independent as well. Just to let you guys know, you can still take care of yourselves. It's not like if you live at home, you can't be independent. That's not true. You won't be fully independent, but you'll be able to, like, if you get your own groceries, there may be elements where you can be independent. Getting a car is also independent. Cooking for yourself is also independence. There's lots of things out there that's independence. Taking care of your living space is independence. Doing little tasks in the house is independence. Even children, like, can have their own independence in that sense because they know how to. They're learning life skills for the future. Wonder Boy said, me and my missus are not getting on the moment. I'm so sorry. Do you know what? Wonder Boy, I recognise your username, but now I actually remember you because your missus is the one that's pregnant. Was it you? She said we don't get on and she's not happy and all that. I think she's not thinking straight, to be honest, Wonder Boy. She's not thinking straight. I feel like she's trying to get a reaction out of you. Maybe you're not giving her enough love or cuddles or kisses, and she's literally just trying to get some type of reaction out of you because you're not reacting at all. Or if you are, it's not in the way that she wants. She wants something from you. She wants maybe affection. I don't know what is it. If you find out her love language, maybe she wants flowers or something. I don't know. AP says it's cool. I ain't living with no woman. She can live with me though, respectfully. That's so sweet, though, AP. Yeah, if you literally move in with a woman, she'll be quick to throw you out, AP. Not that it's because it's you, it's just that's what women do. AP said, Wonder Boy, give her space, bro. Absolutely, it's the heart row thunder. I think she's the one that's pregnant though. I'm sure it's Wonder Boy that had a pregnant woman. Yeah, try we live together. So it's hard to give someone their own space when you live together because literally they have to sometimes talk to you about an issue in the house or if they need help of reaching an item or something. I'm not a lovey-dovey type person, to be honest. It's a problem I have. It's not really a problem. I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's just who you are. You can't force yourself to be like everyone else. Um, you can show love in other ways. So, yeah, she's a pregnant one. I do remember this. I do remember she's pregnant. It's something, yeah, I think I remember giving you a voice before as well. I can't remember what the voice was last time, but I think in this case, it's probably a case of her love language. Because remember, she's going to be dealing with a lot of emotions. So if she never used to be a lovey type before, she may be a lovey type now and she may want love. She needs to basically communicate, but obviously I can't speak for her because I don't know what it's like to be pregnant. Maybe she may have times where she hates you, which is so tough though. It's not a good sign though when someone is like that because she could be dealing with postnatal depression before actually giving birth. She could be going through that. So her hormones, and with postnatal depression, you have to keep a close eye on them especially when they do have a baby as well. Um, yeah. But guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this video up. I really don't want to because I can see like comments coming in through Wonderboy, and I feel like you may need that support and an extra ear to listen for someone to listen to. An extra ear. Um, what's the phrase? Uh, an extra ear to listen to. I don't know, not listen to. I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. Um, You live with her. I'm sorry if I can help you. Don't worry, it's late, isn't it? Yeah, it's late. I'm just offloading all my shit. This is what my channel's here for. Like, people are more than welcome to offload because we're here to like help people in the best way that we can, to be honest. 1 second, I hear the door. I think they went back. I think they went back. They literally got McDonald's. I think they went back. Maybe the order was wrong or something. Yeah. I'm talking about my siblings. Yeah. I should have got them. I should have told them to get me some McDonald's actually, because I literally had cereal for dinner. You know how AP was like Tanya and the late dinners. I literally just got to the point and I was just like, you know what, cereal, because I was gonna make a dinner, and this is the problem when you share house with like certain family members, or it's not necessarily family members. It's actually my stepdad, and the foil paper's finished, and I'm thinking you just finish stuff, and then when you come to using it, it's no longer there. So I just thought, you know what, when you live on your own, you don't have this issue. And this is what's inspired this video. Oh, someone just called me beautiful. Thank you so much, cities. Thank you. Oh, thank you for saying I'm beautiful. So sweet. I'm sure you are too. Thank you. That's really nice. Thank you. Um, yeah, so guys, I'm gonna end this live here. I really don't want to go yet. I really don't want to go because this is such an interesting live. But if anybody that watches this live back, hey, feed star. Anybody, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. That is literally so sweet. Anyone that watches this live, I keep seeing the comment. I keep seeing the comment. Let me hide it from my eyes. I can't even talk now. Anybody, anybody that watch, I'm gonna have to just talk, look it up. Anybody that watches this live video back, and they literally have their own opinion to add to the whole viewpoint of adult children can't leave home or anything I've discussed in the video, definitely leave them in the comment section below, because I'd be happy to hear what you've got to add to that. Anyone that is going through something similar, or they want to talk about it, or they feel like they're an adult child and they feel like they can't literally create their own life, let me know so I can create a video about it. Is anybody that's literally used to be that adult child and they literally flew the nest, and now they're dealing with an interfering parent that, or family members that are telling them that partner's no good for you, let me know. And also anybody that has literally flew the nest and they literally like not cut ties, but they literally managed to get their own freedom, which is usually children that are a bit more resilient. They literally know how to use their voice and literally know how to cut people that are crossing their boundaries. Drop it in the comment section below. Ivy said, Ivy said, this is making me laugh. Ivy said, Tanya's like the voice we literally. Literally, guys. Literally, I am. Oh, guys, literally, like, I was wearing my nice summer dress today. I'm literally still wearing it, guys. Wearing my nice summer dress today, and it was so cold in England. Like, it was hot and cold, and then afterwards, it went really cold, and I felt so silly for having my legs out. It was so cold, guys. But yeah, it's been a good day. It's a good day now that I spoke to you guys, actually, because when I don't talk to you guys, sometimes my mood and emotions do drop. It's because it could be the people I'm connected with, but like when I speak on these lives, it's so fun. It's still hot. You're so lucky. I think tomorrow will be warm. I'm gonna put my washing out on the line tomorrow because I want to dry my clothes. I need to make sure they're dry, and then I can put them away. Yeah, I'm trying to get my washing down, guys. Do something nice for your woman, Wonder Boy. Do something nice for her. Like I forgot I got makeup on. I'm rubbing my eye. Can you believe? Guys, I haven't got makeup on like that. It's just literally just eyelashes I've got on, and I've completely forgot. Do something nice for your pregnant woman. Like even if she's gonna snap at you when you do it, can you imagine like buying her flowers and she's like, "Why have you brought me these?" Like. Still do something nice, and don't worry, just be a punching bag. That was the advice I gave you last time, be a punching bag. You're a bundle of joy. Oh, hey, please stop, you're gassing me up. You're a bundle of joy to talk to Tanya. Is that what it's called? Yeah, they call it bundle of joy. I remember that phrase. Yeah, definitely. It's called bundle of joy. It's such a nice compliment as well. My eyes bugging me. It's such a nice compliment. That could be a sign I'm getting tired. Yeah, to call someone bundle of joy is a beautiful compliment. Literally, like it literally makes me happy inside. I just feel like bundles of flowers inside when you said that. I don't know why. Yes, good memory. I don't know. It just came back to me because I just remembered. I don't know. I was gonna tell you like be a puncher bag, and then I remembered. Wait, I did tell you that before. Yeah, because pregnant women are they're not always dramatic. There might be a reason why she's reacting like that. You may be actually cheesing her off, to be honest, but it is what it is. Yeah, guys, I'm so sorry that I have to go. But I do need to end this live here now. It's almost been an hour since I've been on here, and it was wonderful. Like I knew that I needed to do another live video with you guys, and I'm so happy I did it. I was so hyped for this topic as well. I was like, yes, I'm gonna do this topic. And yeah, I was so happy to do it, and so happy to share it with you guys as well, because I feel like it's always interesting to hear your opinions. I'm always grateful when you guys do contribute. I think she's just had enough of me because I'm emotionally distant. Have you asked her like what you can do to help her? Not in terms of like her mood, I mean like what does she need help with in general? Because she may be very anxious, especially if it's her first child. She may be very nervous about having a first child, and she may be thinking that maybe have you done something in the past that's made her doubt you? Maybe you've done something in the past that's made her think, and then now she's probably think maybe that problem is magnifying in her head, maybe, or maybe you're not talking about certain issues. I don't know. Oh, AP, that's so sweet. Don't take this the wrong way, but I could talk to you all night. Literally, do you know what? Anyone that literally feels that way with me, I'm up for talking to them, because I don't know if many people actually enjoy talking to me. So that's such a compliment, to be honest. Um, Wonderboy, Wonderboy, same AP. She's like an agony aunt. That was like one of my goals, to be an agony aunt before. I remember like ages ago on the internet when I was very much younger. I always wanted to be someone that could give people a voice, and I never ever like the more I wanted to give people a voice, no one ever came through for me. Like when I say come through, there's like things on the internet where you can be like, ask me a question, and I'd find myself on Instagram asking people to if they wanted any advice to ask me, and no one would. And now, like you guys are saying, this is such a huge compliment. Yeah, she just shuts off when I tried to get answers out of her. Oh, interesting. Um, when she shuts off, right, that could mean that you're doing something right, I think, because you're trying to solve the issue. So she wants a reason to be like pissed off at you, basically. So I think you're probably doing something right when you're doing that. Well, I hope you are, but from what you said to me, it sounds like that's when you're like actually doing what she wants you to do, and then she's thinking, damn, he's doing it. Um No, not an agony aunt. She's more like a friend because I don't have female friends, bro. That's really sweet, AP. Should call your channel Tao Tanya. Tao Tanya. Yeah, but if I did that, I feel like people wouldn't really come to me with that then. They'd probably be like, I don't know. I feel like when you state what you want, sometimes people don't give you that. Does that make sense? Like if you say, I want this, people purposely don't give you. Um, that's good that you found her channel, AP. Yeah. So guys, I want to thank you all for the likes. I want to thank the people on here that have contributed today. Like it's so wonderful to discuss these topics with you guys. Um, Thank you for anyone that does watch this video after I posted it live. Anyone that's suffering with this topic, just know that there's people out there that do understand. Not everyone's going to be judgmental. And when I say judgmental, um, the whole judgmental thing is when people don't actually understand that they're not experiencing being hindered by parents, and then they're literally trying to tell you to move out, and then that's when you get defensive because you're thinking, who are they to tell me, because they don't know what I'm going through. So be careful when you do get offended by people, because those people are trying to help you because they know how easy it is, right? But when you trap somebody with the mind, you trap them. It's like if you um is it what's the is it an elephant? I can't remember what it was. When you train an elephant to not move or something, then they don't move. They forget how powerful they are. Something like that. I can't remember the whole scenario of it. Um, you guys, literally AP Wonderboy and whoever else is here right now. Have a good night, good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. You guys are so sweet. Wonderboy said thanks for the chat. Good night, guys and girls. Much love, and AP put kisses. Yeah, so guys, good night. I'm probably not gonna go to bed for now, but yeah, I've got a lot to do to get ready for bed. But it's always a joy to speak to you all. I'm gonna charge my phone as well because it's dying. Tomorrow I want to try and get up at a good time because there's a lot of things I need to sort out tomorrow. I'm so scared for the future, guys. I feel like I've got a lot to do to get my life together. I'm so scared about that. I might do a live video on that, I think. I don't know. Not right now, but like in the future. But guys, good night. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave you guys because you guys literally bring me joy. But you guys literally make me happy. I literally start AP's word by saying joy. But you guys make me happy. So sometimes when you have things that make you happy, you want to hang on to them longer. I feel like that's going to hit somebody out there. There's somebody that's going to hear that for a statement and be like, wow, that's literally hit me deep. Yeah. When there's something that makes you happy, you want to hang on to it longer. So yeah, whatever that's in reference to, so you guys should know. AP, take care too. Thank you so much for calling me gorgeous, guys. Bye.